So I want to talk about something which is very common in our generation. I don't know if you guys are going through the same thing that I am going through, but what I have realized is that we need to talk about our issues with the people around us. I see a lot of people, when we open Instagram, when we see the social media, when we are on Instagram, we see a lot of people posting stories. This is something really common that I've observed in people who are going through something really difficult in their life. We all are going through a lot of things in our life, but there are a lot of people who are not able to cope up with those issues or those difficult situations. Our brain is wired to protect us. Our brain literally builds up coping mechanisms so that we can survive. So I've seen a lot of people, when they're going through some difficult situations, instead of talking about it, they start sharing memes relating to that situation. It makes us feel better that someone else is also feeling exactly the way we are. But the point is, this is where the law of attraction or manifestation comes in power. Every thought that you have, every single thought that you have, everything that you say, it comes back to you. So every time we share something which is very, very negative, even though you relate to it, if you start sharing those stories, right, you start sharing those memes on your stories, in your reels, constantly reminding yourself that how miserable your life is, that is exactly what comes back to you, right? Your life keeps becoming miserable. You might feel that temporary relief for that moment when you share that kind of content online, but that, again, as I said, it's temporary, right? I had a conversation with someone today about venting. So venting does help. There's no denying that venting, whenever you feel really full of emotions, when you're really full of all those negative thoughts and you can't just take it anymore, you have to go out and talk to someone. We rather like to vent out our feelings and whatever we're going through. Now that might help you for that particular moment, because whatever emotions that were bundled up inside of you, you just told it to someone else, you just vented out. That's why it's called venting. But a better alternative to this is rather focusing on healing your trauma or the source of your stress. Rather asking this question as to why are you feeling those emotions, right? Finding the cause, the root of it. And most of the times I found that the root of most of the problems that we are facing today as a collective, as a generation, comes out from our lifestyle. You cannot generalize these things because everybody has a story, everybody has a background, everybody has a lot of past trauma. But what I have realized from my personal experience is that by changing your lifestyle in small ways, every day, making those small changes, making those small positive changes actually does help in your overall journey of healing yourself. This is one of the examples. I always wanted to start a YouTube channel and talk about things that I actually care and talk about things that really matter to me. But I was never able to do it because I always thought of myself as someone who does not just know enough about something. And this mindset came into me because of the people I was surrounded with. They always tried to put me down. That's when I just realized that when I got out of that circle, right, when I stopped being perfect, when I stopped asking myself to be perfect in all situations, when I allowed myself to make a lot of mistakes, that's when a lot of things changed for me, right? I started learning new things about me. I started getting interested into things that I never thought I would be interested in. Being a person who's always been interested into art, sketching, and any kind of art, right? I've been into theaters and I love acting. I love sketching. And recently, lately, I've started playing the guitar as well, and I've got interested into playing instruments. And I studied engineering. After my graduation, I started working, and I just did not feel like working in that environment. That did not work out for me well. So what I did instead was I just quit that job. I went to a different city, started trying to do different things, started exploring what I could go into. I made a lot of mistakes. I screwed up big time. I failed at every single thing that I tried to do. But what I got out of those things is a lot of experience, a lot of I learned a lot of things out of those failures. And after all these years, I'm finally really happy about what I'm doing. Right now I make sketches, right, because it feels great. And when I started doing that, I started getting orders for it, and I actually started doing as a part-time work. So I'm working as a part-time sketch artist, and now I have a business. So I run a cafe providing healthy foods, healthy diets, good quality juices, and everything that I actually love about eating. So the things that I like to eat, I really wanted to give that to people. Everything that I find interesting. And that's when I realized that you do not have to cap yourself, that you do not have to limit yourself to a certain profession or something that you've studied. Because when you started out, you were a different person altogether. And as you get new experiences, as you keep learning, as you keep failing, you learn a lot of things about yourself. And that's the reason I wanted to start this YouTube channel, be active on YouTube and start making videos so I can talk about the things that really matter to me. Whether or not you like it, it's completely on you because I don't really care. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I think that's how it goes, because I started with something else, but now it's something else. But whatever. I think I'm gonna make a lot of videos now, and they're gonna be completely random, but they're gonna be about the things that I'm experiencing throughout every day in my life. And I think that's gonna help me come out as a person who really understands himself. And maybe it might help a few people out there who are still struggling to understand who they are and what they want with life. So let me know in the comments how we can actually improve this. And thank you for watching.